City of Forest Park Special Council meeting. Today is May 23rd. The time is a little after 7:30. Let us start by standing and saying the Pledge of Allegiance. All right, will the clerk please call the roll?
Adams,
Present.
Brown,
Here.
Clark,
Here.
Harrison,
Here.
Holt,
Here.
Moore, Sylvester.
All right, all council members are present. Point of order, Clerk of Council, we actually, since this is a special meeting, we do not have comments from the public, but I believe that there is someone here to speak from the public. So briefly, will we have to vote to amend the agenda?
Yes.
Okay, so I need a motion to amend the agenda to allow for public comment.
I would like to make a motion to amend the agenda to allow for public comments.
Second.
Been moved and properly seconded. Is there any discussion?
None.
All right, does this have to be a roll call or can this be a voice?
Roll call.
Okay, the clerk please call the roll on the motion.
Adams,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Clark, Harrison,
Yes.
Holt,
Yes.
Moore, Sylvester.
All right, motion passes. So we're going to have a brief moment for comments from the public. So at this time, if anyone would like to address council, please go up to the podium, sign your name and your address, and then please limit your comments to 5 minutes. And for your knowledge that all council meetings are recorded, and then this is also going to be transcribed at a later date. Like I said, please sign. Is there a sign?
I didn't, there's no sign-in sheet there, but I can put a piece. Okay.
Okay, you can provide one. Thank you. Saving the city money. Yeah, state your name and your address, and then limit your comments to 5 minutes, please.
Okay. My name is Loretta Allen. Address is 641 Waycross Road. I reviewed the resolution, and I have 4 brief comments. Our property is one of the streets that is listed in the resolution. I would like further explanation to understand this process. Is this different than the meeting that the city manager had indicated that he would have with the residents of that street, which is Waycross Road? Is there any, or will there be a provision in the contract regarding the tire damage due to the construction? This was questioned at a previous council meeting. Number 3, based upon the resolution, only 3 of the 6 homes would be eligible on Waycross Road. Excuse me. Would the remaining 3 be considered in the resolution? And number 4, does the Community Reinvestment Area Council, Housing Council have a resident member? And are their meetings open to the residents?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, thank you.
Mike over there if you want to go to the podium.
Just bring my map up here. So, I think I'm probably going to take your questions in reverse order. The question about the Housing Council, it includes, it's 7 members, 6 of whom are residents. There's 1 non-resident member. Their meetings are open to the public. They really are only planned to meet once a year. For Community Reinvestment Area, I'm not really sure I understood the question about 3 houses and then 3 others, but all of the houses that are facing the 15 acres that the city wants to develop or adjacent to it, either from behind or across the street, are included in the community reinvestment area. And what that's solely a benefit. Because it would, if you had a remodeling project or addition or some kind of improvement to the property, you could apply for a tax abatement that would, on a remodeling project, be for 75% in 10 years. So that hypothetically could represent a substantial savings. And I don't remember your first question. Oh, how about the tires?
Well, if it's from the work site, obviously we'll make sure. It won't be in this provision, but we'll make sure. We haven't had any other complaints about tires in that area. We've been pretty observant about making sure that they.
Especially since,
Considered since this is new construction as well?
We can say that they have to maintain their job site, but
Okay.
if a nail gets in the street because of just
Right.
falls out of a truck,
Right, right.
you know, obviously we would want them to clean it up daily.
Mhm.
But just, you know, to say somebody had tire damage
Right,
related to that, or any kind of damage,
right.
you know, if it's provable, obviously the builder would have to
Mhm.
help and fix it. But
Okay.
proving that, you know, you got a nail in your tire.
well, but to your point, ma'am, after that meeting where the gentleman did express that he received that, the city manager had instructed our public works department to go over there and be a little bit more, do a lot more due diligence on making sure that the construction workers maintain the area.
We've actually cited, the police have even cited some of the contractors over there for
Okay.
bringing mud out onto the street. So we've got a pretty good presence over there in terms of watching. You'll see them sweeping up the dirt out of there because we're real concerned about it. But, you know, obviously if they put it in the dumpster and then the Rumpke guys all of a sudden kind of shake the dumpster and something falls out, somebody runs over it, that's responsibility of the place, but I don't know how you put that in the contract. We can put it in there that they'll maintain the property, they'll maintain the surrounding areas. Maybe put a cleaning schedule on there, that once a week they'll run their street sweeper, things like that. I'll put that in the contract. They wouldn't have any problem with that, and we're still going to meet with we're still to the point where we've got 2 more pieces of legislation. They still have not closed on the property. Once we get there, we will have that meeting.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, we definitely have that community meeting, let everybody know what's going on, give you a timetable when the construction's gonna start, and make sure that we cause the little amount of disruption to the neighbors as possible.
Right.
That's our goal. And that if they cause any damage, we've been pretty adamant since I've been here, that they have to. I'm sorry. That they have to clean up as they're going, and they have to, if they dig a hole, they need to make sure that hole's full and it's replaced and it doesn't sink. And so we're pretty much on top of them as they go. We don't let them. A lot of contractors want to come in and dig a hole. I'm just using this as an example. They'll come in and they'll do some work on the right of way, and then they'll move on, and they'll be here for a month. You know, some of the utility companies in particular, I don't want to use any names, but we don't let them move on from that project till they fix and restore the grass and all the places at that particular project. Because a lot of times they'll spend a month in a city, and then their groundskeepers and their landscapers that come in and finish it up. But if you were the first person that got worked on, you got that hole sitting there for a month, and you're waiting for somebody to come fill it up, even though they've already left. And they put some cones around it, and they leave it. So we've been pretty adamant that can't happen. And we've got an inspector who pretty much follows these folks around when they're working in the right-of-way. As long as they're on their own property, they're going to be, that's up to them. But when they get on the right-of-way where it's public property, we're pretty tight with what goes on. So we'll put some clauses in there that require them to clean up and maintain the streets. They can't we already have some clauses that say you can't, your big muddy truck, they can't just drive it out onto the street. And if you do, you need to clean that up.
And best
If you
believe
don't-
our Public Works Department will continue to be watching, because especially since residents have expressed these concerns, and in the next couple of years, we will be doing a lot more building. We're going to stay on top of them as best we can, especially our Public Works Department is really good at it. And like you said, even the police will cite people. So continue to come in, voice your concerns, but they are important to us, and we'll make sure that not only they build beautiful houses, but they'll do it in a way that is quality and doesn't disturb, to the best of their ability, doesn't disturb the quality of life in the neighborhood.
We actually had placed a police officer on the Waycross property down there
Okay.
looking for, because we were having such a problem with the mud.
The
And
mud
there's
is a problem,
certain
yeah.
requirements that you have to do. And, in a construction site, normally it doesn't matter because it's but this is a construction site that's right on the street. So it's a little different when you're in an urban area like us. So we have, we're concerned enough to have a policeman basically assigned there for 2 or 3 hours in the morning, occasionally, not all the time. If they're there all the time, then you're better off just, they've got a little bit of, they may be there, they may not be there. So having them there intermittently without any kind of schedule is actually, I think, more effective, at least a better use of our funds. But yes, there will be another meeting. Yeah. Once again, they haven't closed on the property. Once we get that together, then that'll be the final plans and everything will come together. There'll still be another meeting, actually, Chris, I'm not sure if this is a public meeting or not, but they'll have to put their final plan review, right? Yeah. So that'll be a public hearing as well.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mrs. Allen.
Yes.
All right.
My name's Laura Wolke. I live at 11281 Hanover Road. I've been a resident here for 17 years. I did a presentation with some team members about a roller rink, bringing a roller rink to Forest Park, presented to Mr. Donnie Jones and Ms. Denise Holt a while ago, less than a year ago, though. And we've had several meetings, and I have an excellent team put together, including a grant writer, including the media specialist that's worked at Winton Woods for 19 years, another resident of the city of Forest Park, and a woman named Brittany Smith, who has actually graduated from Mortar, and her project was to open a roller rink, and she wants to open a roller rink in Forest Park. However, none of us have the funds to open a roller rink in Forest Park. But I did find out that Frisch's and 3CDC in downtown Cincinnati, to celebrate the 75th anniversary of Frisch's, are opening a pop-up roller rink, a mobile roller rink. And it is happening the first in Memorial Day weekend, May 27th through 30th, then July 1 through 4, August 5th through 7th, September 2 through 5, September 30th through October 2nd, and October 28th through the 30th. We propose that we are hoping with this team of dedicated volunteers, we're not asking for anything other than to improve our community and have awesome recreation spot for our kids, is to hook up with the city of Forest Park and to be able to reach out, conjointly with Forest Park, to Frisch's, I have the marketing director, and find out more about a mobile roller rink. How does it work? How does that actually work? What does it entail to set it up? This would be an excellent way to try it out, see what would happen in Forest Park. We've had another one of our team members works at Cincinnati Financial. He's devoted. He volunteers with the Academy of Global Studies students here at Winton Woods. He's a mentor. We could have, those students have to do volunteer hours. I know because all my kids have graduated from AGS. We could have them actually man the rink. I mean, there's a volume of opportunities here. So on behalf of our team, and then reaching out to the city of Forest Park, that we could reach out to Frisch's, for starters. I don't even know if we need 3CDC because, like I said, that's related to downtown. We want it in Forest Park. So that's why I'm here. We've had several meetings. I do have my initial presentation, which I changed up a little bit. We're learning and growing as we go. As you know, you have big ideas and then you kind of have to scale them down. So when I heard about the pop-up rink, it was like, that's the fit. And then Brittany Smith, who I've already said about her, but one of the articles was not, it's not from long ago, it was in City Beat in July of 2021, and it quotes Brittany Smith, and that's how I learned about her. So honestly, before I presented to Donnie, I had the article in my presentation. I honestly hadn't read through it all. I looked up Brittany Smith. She's on board. She said, absolutely, she can't be here tonight because she's teaching skating lessons at a park in Middletown. And I can tell you, I took my daughter to the skating place in Coleraine, and you have to buy tickets online on Wednesdays to go on Saturday. That's how busy they are. And it is a blast. It's healthy, good fun. So I brought my presentation. I didn't bring this many copies, but I would be happy to share it online. The articles, the pop-up mobile roller rink with Frisch's and 3CDC. And I'm asking your permission, or if we can have a meeting with my team.
I would say yes, and I think it sounds like a wonderful idea. It does. And I think if you want to schedule a meeting with me, but go ahead and contact whomever at Frisch's,
Okay,
and let's get them on board, and we'll all have a meeting, and we'll figure out a date that we can get them here.
excellent. Thank you.
That's a great idea.
Thank you. Does anybody want a copy of the presentation? And I'll send you copies of the articles, both from City Beat and the pop-up roller rink.
Just let me know. Sooner than later.
I'll come out, I'll skate.
I think it'd be great fun this summer.
This would be really
Jones?
fun, yeah.
Can we connect her with Week 5 as well?
Yes.
Jermaine, can you have him on that
Yeah,
conversation?
that would be good.
So we've got a great group of folks here. The
Thank you.
We Thrive group, it's all about great, being healthy in Forest Park. And they're very active, and they're a lot of fun. And this is the kind of thing that would be right up their alley.
Absolutely.
And so we'll bring them involved, we'll get them involved as well. And do you want to contact me, or you just contact me and we'll make a time?
I need your card again.
Okay.
I do have trouble finding that on our website, how to contact you.
What?
Just FYI.
We can't have that.
He's a busy
Sounds like
man.
somebody did that on purpose.
Okay.
I'll get you, just email me. Oh, sure.
I'll get it.
Yeah, if you
Yeah, I don't have any cards here.
cards, yeah. Actually, I
Sitting
can.
right upstairs on my
think I
desk,
have
though.
I think I have a card too, so you can just email me too as well. Just hit this.
Here, I'll just write it down.
Yeah.
That we can forward it to the teams.
Hold on, let me give you this.
It's gonna give you his info as well. Yeah. We're on television, so we gotta keep it on cards. Otherwise, we blurt it out. He'll get a million emails before the end of the day.
I get everybody, so they already found me. Thank you very
All right,
much.
thank you. All right. Mr. Smith? You're the honorary 8th member. No. Well, all right, well, I guess this concludes public comment at this time, so we're going to move on to item number 2 of the agenda, which is new business. So we are going to start with item number A, which is an ordinance. Will the clerk please read this ordinance in full, because this was actually not posted.
Okay. Ordinance number 16-2022, declaring improvements to parcels of real property located in the city of Forest Park, Ohio, to be a public purpose under Section 5709.40 of the Ohio Revised Code, exempting such improvements from real property taxation, declaring certain public improvements to be necessary for the further development of those parcels, and establishing a tax increment equivalent fund and declaring an emergency. Whereas Section 5709.40 ETSEQ of the Ohio Revised Code authorizes municipal corporations to participate in a financing technique commonly known as tax increment financing. And whereas this council wishes to use the authority granted pursuant to such sections in connection with certain improvements in the city in order to meet the public health, safety, welfare, and convenience needs of the area, including new development and traffic capacity. And whereas notice has been given to the Winton Woods City School District and the Great Oaks Career Campuses on May 17th, 2022, of the consideration of this ordinance providing a tax increment property tax exemption as required by sections 5709.40 and 5709.83 of the Ohio Revised Code. And whereas this city council has determined to grant a real property tax exemption for the parcels comprising the Promenade 2 TIF, Now therefore be it ordained by the council of the city of Forest Park, Ohio, Section 1. Pursuant to Section 5709.40B of the Ohio Revised Code, this city council hereby creates the Promenade 2 TIF, the boundaries of which will be coterminous with the boundaries of the parcels and will include the parcels as specifically identified and depicted in Exhibit A, attached hereto, which parcels are located in the incorporated area of the city. Section 2, that this council hereby finds and declares that certain public improvements in the city, to wit, the planning, design, construction, and maintenance of the public street improvements, including pavements, walkways, bike paths, traffic control devices, and alterations to existing streets, specifically including road improvements to Winton Road and Kemper Road. The planning, design, construction, and maintenance of utilities, including but not limited to water, sanitary sewers, stormwater sewers, detention facilities, gas mains, electric facilities, and communication facilities. The acquisition, construction, or enhancement of recreation facilities, including public parks and community centers. The creation or enhancement of buffer areas and open areas necessary for ensuring the capability of adjacent land uses. The acquisition, construction, and/or enhancement of public service facilities and public safety facilities. The acquisition of land in aid of industry and commerce, and the purchase of property rights of way and easements or other rights of property necessary for the completion of the public improvements listed above, or a public purpose, and that those public improvements are necessary for the further development of the parcels of land described in Exhibit A attached to this ordinance, such as parcels are hereinafter collectively referred to as the City of Forest Park Promenade 2 TIF, which parcels are located in the incorporated area of the city for the creation of jobs, increasing property values, and the provision of adequate public services in the City of Forest Park. The further development of the parcels of the City of Forest Park Promenade 2 TIF will place direct additional demand on the public improvements. Section 3, that pursuant to Section 5709.40B of the Ohio Revised Code, further improvements to the parcel in the Promenade 2 TIF occurring after the date of this ordinance are hereby declared to be a public purpose and are exempt from real property taxation commencing for each parcel with the first tax year that begins after the effective date of this ordinance, and in which an improvement resulting from construction of or to a building first appears on the tax duplicate and ending on the earlier of 10 years from the commencement of the exemption for each parcel, or 2, the date on which the specific public improvements as described in Section 1 above, the public improvements that will benefit the Promenade 2 TIF are paid in full from the tax increment equivalent fund as defined in Section 5 hereof, but in no case will any improvement be exempted from taxation for more than 10 years of each parcel. It is hereby determined that a portion of the improvements will be exempt from real property taxation. 2, Such portion will be 75% of the assessed value of the improvements. And 3, the public improvements directly benefit or once made will directly benefit the Promenade to TIF. Section 4, that pursuant to Section 570942 of the Ohio Revised Code, the owner or the owners of the improvements will be required to make annual service payments in lieu of taxes, the service payments, to the Hamilton County Treasurer on or before the final dates for payment of real property taxes. This council hereby expresses its intention and authorizes the city manager to sign such documents as may be necessary and appropriate to assure the payment of such service payments. Section 5, that pursuant to Section 5709.43 of the Ohio Revised Code, there is hereby established the City of Forest Park Promenade 2 Public Improvement Tax Increment Equivalent Fund, into which the service payments will be deposited. Money in the tax increment equivalent fund will be used to finance the public improvements and may be used to make compensation payments to the Winton Woods City School District and/or the Great Oaks Career campuses at the discretion of the City Council. Section 6, that the proper city officials are hereby authorized to do all things necessary and proper to carry out Sections 1 through 5 above, including but not limited to filing any required applications for a tax exemption with the Hamilton County Auditor and our state tax commissioner. Section 7, that the clerk is hereby directed to forward a copy of this ordinance to the County Auditor of Hamilton County. Section 8, pursuant to Section 5709.40 of the Ohio Revised Code, the Finance Director is hereby directed to deliver a copy of this ordinance to the Director of the Ohio Development Services Agency within 15 days after its passage, on or before March 31st of each year, that the exemption set forth herein remains in effect. The Finance Director or authorized officer of this city will prepare and submit to the Director of the Ohio Development Services Agency the status report required under Section 5709.40 of the Ohio Revised Code. Section 9, that it is hereby found and determined that all formal actions of this council concerning and relating to the passage of this ordinance were taken in an open meeting of this council, and that all deliberations of this council and any of its committees that resulted in such formal action were taken in meetings open to the public, in compliance with all legal requirements, including Section 121.22 of the Ohio Revised Code. Section 10, that this ordinance is hereby declared to be an emergency for the reason that the public peace, health, safety, and welfare of the inhabitants of the City of Forest Park require the immediate creation of the tax increment financing district to provide funds for the orderly financing and refinancing of the improvements to which they relate. And this ordinance will take effect immediately upon its passage. Section 11, that this ordinance will take effect at the earliest possible date permitted by law.
Thank you, Sally. Is there a motion, Councilmember Sylvester?
Motion that we would adopt ordinance number 16-2022.
It's been moved and properly seconded. Is there any discussion?
The detailed meetings. That's associated with the tax and increment financing director for the old Big Works building and the Promenade Shopping Center. The details a motion that we adopt. 16-2022.
All right, thank you. Will the clerk please call the roll on the motion?
I got one question.
I'm sorry.
You said, what building was that? What?
It's the old Fitworks building where the Tesla's going in.
Okay, that's what I thought.
All right, is there any further discussion? All right, will clerk please call the roll on motion?
Adams,
I have to vote no on this.
Brown,
Yes.
Clark. Harrison,
Yes.
Holt,
Yeah.
Moore,
No.
Sylvester.
Yes.
All right, motion passes 5-2. All right, moving on, we need a motion to suspend the rules for the next couple resolutions. Is there a motion? First, Vice Mayor Holt.
I would like to make a move to suspend the rules requiring the reading in full and read by title only resolution number 13-2022 through 16-2022.
Is there a second?
Second.
It's been moved and properly seconded. Is there any discussion?
Only that these resolutions were posted 6 days prior to the meeting.
All right, thank you. Will the clerk please call the motion on the the roll on the motion to suspend? It has not been that long of a day.
Brown,
Yes.
Clark,
Yes.
Harrison,
Yes.
Holt,
Yes.
Moore, Sylvester, Adams.
No.
All right, motion passes 6-1. Will the clerk please will the clerk please read the resolution by title only?
Resolution number 13-2022, a resolution declaring a moratorium on zoning special exemptions for 90 days.
Okay, is there a motion, First Vice Mayor Holt?
I move for adoption of resolution number 13-2022.
Is there a second?
Second.
It's been moved and properly seconded. Is there any discussion?
Yes, this resolution places a 90-day moratorium on zoning special exception applications to allow time to study how we can reduce the number of special exception or potentially eliminate this use classification altogether. And with that, I urge adoption of resolution number 13-2022.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. Will the clerk please call the roll on the motion?
Clark.
No.
Harrison,
Yes.
Holt,
Yes.
Moore, Sylvester,
Yes.
Adams,
Yes.
Brown.
Yes. All right, motion passes. Will the clerk please read the next resolution by title only?
Resolution number 14-2022, a resolution declaring a moratorium on tobacconists, tobacco stores and stands, vape stores, smoke shops, and other similar establishments for 180 days.
All right, is there a motion? First Vice Mayor Holt.
I move for adoption of resolution number 14-2022.
Second.
It's been moved and properly seconded. Is there any discussion?
Yes, this is a 180-day moratorium on applications for any store whose primary line of business is tobacco, tobacco products, e-cigarette, vape juices, and smokers' accessories. This moratorium will allow time to study and recommend reasonable zoning restrictions on this type of business, which is currently listed as a permitted use in the planned business zone district. So with that, I recommend adoption of resolution number 14-2022.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. Will clerk please call the roll on the motion?
Harrison,
Yes.
Holt,
Yes.
Moore,
Yes.
Sylvester,
Yes.
Adams,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Clark.
Yes.
All right, motion passes 7-0. Will the clerk please read this next resolution by title only?
Resolution number 15-2022, a resolution implementing sections 3735.65 through 3735.70 of the Ohio Revised Code establishing and describing the boundaries of a community reinvestment area in the city of Forest Park, Ohio, designating a housing officer and establishing community reinvestment area, housing council, and a tax incentive review council.
Thank you, Ms. Boyd. Is there a motion, First Vice Mayor Holt?
I move for adoption of resolution number 15-2022.
Second.
It's been moved and properly seconded. Is there any discussion?
This resolution is nearly identical to the one passed by City Council in 2018 to establish the existing community reinvestment area, different only in the area for the CRA. The area for the CRA is the 15 acres that the city owns, in which Crystal Homes will be building the new development of attached single-family ranches and townhouses, as well as the single-family properties on Waycross, Bruner, and Bradbury that are directly adjacent to the development. The new single-family construction, 100% abatement for 15 years for major remodeling of existing single-family homes, 75% for 10 years. With that, I urge adoption of resolution number 15-2022.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. Will the clerk please call the roll on the motion?
Holt,
Yes.
Moore,
Yes.
Sylvester, Adams,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Clark,
Yes.
Harrison.
Yes.
Motion passes 7-0. Will the clerk please read this next resolution by title only?
Resolution number 16-2022, a resolution initiating and rezoning process for 4.036 acres of land located at 1125 and 1135 West Kemper Road from SPA 2 Special Planning Area Number 2 to O Office.
All right, is there a motion, First Vice Mayor Holt?
I move for adoption of resolution number 16-2022.
It's been moved and properly seconded. Is there any discussion?
This resolution would initiate the process of rezoning these properties, all the vacant property, from an SPA-2 to office. This measure is mainly because we don't know yet what might go into the Aldi building. The actual rezoning process would follow, including a planning commission review and recommendation, as well as a council public hearing. And with that, I urge adoption of 16-2022, resolution number 16-2022.
Thank you, Vice Mayor Holt. Will the clerk please call the roll on the motion?
Moore,
Yes.
Sylvester,
Yes.
Adams,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Clark,
Yes.
Harrison,
Yes.
Holt.
Yes.
All right, motion passes 7-0. Will the clerk please read resolution number 17-2020 in full?
Resolution number 17. So where's my 17?
Yeah, I'm going through my.
Oh. I'm sorry, it got stuck. Resolution number 17-2022. A resolution authorizing the city manager to accept the capital budget funding for park improvements. Whereas the Ohio Capital Budget Prioritization Task Force received the city's request for assistance for use at Central Park for fiscal year 2023 2024. And whereas the City of Forest Park desires to use these funds to make needed improvements to Central Park that will benefit the community. And whereas the city desires financial assistance from the state of Ohio to make improvements to Central Park that will primarily promote good, healthy living and wellness for the community. Now therefore be it resolved by the Council of the City of Forest Park, Ohio. Section 1, that the city manager is hereby authorized and directed to accept on behalf of the City of Forest Park capital budget prioritized funding for use in Central Park for the program FY 2023/FY 2024 for park and playground equipment replacement. Section 2, that the finance director does agree to obligate the funds required to satisfactorily complete the park and recreation improvements eligible for reimbursement under the terms and conditions of the Ohio Capital Prioritization Task Force, not to exceed $150,000.
Thank you, Ms. Boyd. Is there a motion, Councilmember Sylvester?
Yes, I motion that we move to receive resolution number 17-2022.
It's been moved and properly seconded. Is there any discussion?
No further discussion. We heard the reading.
Okay.
Resolution, so I move that we adopt resolution 17-2022.
Okay, will the clerk please call the roll on the motion?
Sylvester,
Yes.
Adams,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Clark,
Yes.
Harrison,
Yes.
Holt,
Yes.
Moore.
All right, motion passes 7-0. Will the clerk please read resolution number 18-2020 in full?
Resolution number 18-2022, a resolution authorizing and directing the city manager to negotiate services and enter into an agreement with Mission Square Retirement, formerly International City Managers Association, ICMA-RC, for administration and management of a deferred compensation program for the city. Whereas the city has employees that render valuable services and are participants in an established 457B plan, the plan, with Mission Square Retirement, formerly International City Managers Association, ICMA-RC, and whereas the 457 plan for the City of Forest Park is requesting a change in the plan coordinator from the city manager to the finance director. Now therefore be resolved by the Council of the City of Forest Park, Ohio, Section 1, that the finance director is named as the plan coordinator for the City of Forest Park Plan number 300342. The finance director will receive reports, notices, etc. from Mission Square Retirement or Vantage Trust. The finance director will cast on behalf of the City of Forest Park any required votes under Vantage Trust. The finance director will handle or may delegate any administrative duties relating to the plan to other members of the finance department. Section 2, the City of Forest Park's City Council hereby authorizes the city manager and the finance director to execute all necessary agreements with Mission Square Retirement incidental to the administration of the plan.
All right, thank you, Ms. Boyd. Will the clerk please call the roll on the motion?
Adams,
Oh, actually,
No discussion.
you haven't made a motion yet. Is there a motion, Councilmember Sylvester?
I move that we adopt resolution number 18-2022.
Been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion?
No further discussion.
Okay. Now will the clerk please call the roll?
Adams,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Clark,
Yes.
Harrison,
Yes.
Holt,
Yes.
Moore,
Yes.
Sylvester.
Yes.
All right, motion passes 7-0. Will the clerk please read resolution number 19-2022 in full? Actually.
Resolution number 19-2022, accepting the bid of Atleta, Inc. for the 2022 street program. Whereas the City of Forest Park has heretofore advertised for bids for the 2022 street program, and whereas bidder Alita Inc., Prues Construction, John R. Jurgensen Company, with the base bid for Alita of $638,379.05, with an alternative bid for Lincolnshire Drive and Kingsbury of $128,729.80. Prues Construction, the bidder, with a base bid of $643,359.50, with an alternate bid for Lincolnshire Drive, $137,543. John R. Jurgensen Company bidder, with a base bid of $853,310.80, an alternative one bid of $188,372.40. Now therefore be it resolved by the Council of the City of Forest Park, Ohio, Section 1, that the bid of Atleta Inc. be accepted and approved in the amount of $638,379.05. Is hereby accepted as the best bid. Section 2, that the city manager is hereby authorized and directed to enter into a contract with Atleta Inc. for work to be performed as specified in the 2022 street program bidding documents. Section 3, this resolution shall be in full force from and after its passage.
All right, thank you, Ms. Boyd. Is there a motion, Councilmember Sylvester?
Yes, I motion that we adopt resolution number 19-2022.
Second.
It's been moved and properly seconded. Is there any discussion?
No further discussion of the resolution.
All right, will the clerk please call the roll on the motion?
Brown,
Yes.
Clark,
Yes.
Harrison,
Yes.
Holt, Moore, Sylvester,
Yes.
Adams.
Yes.
All right, motion passes 7-0, and there is nothing else on the agenda, so I want to thank everybody for their time. But is there any other business to come before the body? Is there any other business to come before the body? And is there any other business to come before the body? Hearing none, this meeting is adjourned.